Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And wow, this is kind of big news if you've been following all the dismal Disney news. Disney is completely ending Reimagine Tomorrow. And they're also removing some of the movie content warnings on some of their older movies, the ones that were
funny,
ridiculous. Now, if we could just get some content reinstated, that would be fantastic. If we can put Lilo back in the dryer, that would be great, because it doesn't make any damn sense to have her in a pizza box or whatever the hell they're doing. So let's talk about this breaking news before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Speaking of dismal Disney, check out the Dismal Kingdom parody t-shirts on clownfishminus.com. Also, if you check the link in, they put them up on underneath our videos sometimes. You can find the link to it, or just go to clownfishminus.com, search all products. We're right there. Thank you very much. Yeah, so Reimagine Tomorrow was massively controversial DEI initiative.
Yeah, just a little bit controversial there, yeah.
And, didn't we have Project Veritas and stuff got involved in this? And
well, I know that Project Veritas got some of the executives, and there are men basically saying that, I'm not going to go any further because I'm a white dude, and they're only hiring people that aren't either of those things.
Yeah, I mean, there were several quote unquote culture warriors, like I do the voice, who were taking Disney to task for this thing. And basically it was their very, very ham-fisted DEI program. It got introduced about 2 years ago, if I remember correctly. And
it was 2021. Okay.
So everybody was jumping on the bandwagon, and they were doing workshops, the typical, the workshops, the training, but it was very racist-y, because a lot of the groups that they put people in was like, oh, okay, well, all the Latinos, you go the Hacienda taco truck down over here.
You're right. Your taco group, and
and all the black folks, yeah, you're in Wakanda over there, and and all the white people, well, there's
too many of you. Half you leave.
Half of you leave. Yeah, right. So
all the men.
Just the men. Yeah, just the men. And it's a very different attitude, I think. Now, here's the thing. I don't believe for a minute that, both things are true. I don't believe for a minute that everybody at Disney was on board with this. I think they did it because it was a trend. And also, I don't think that everybody at Disney is done with this. They're just not going to have a formal program because it's no longer trendy. Does that make sense?
Yes, I agree.
I think that makes sense. So let's see what Blog Mickey is saying. They've got from, I think, Axios. So the report from Axios says that Disney has rolled out some updated diversity, equity, and inclusion messaging to cast members in an email sent out earlier today.
Okay.
Yes, this is just like today, which makes sense because they did not mention Reimagine Tomorrow at all in their corporate material.
No, in their filing, no, they did not.
Right. The email from Chief Human Resources Officer Sonia Coleman outlines the changes Disney will make as part of a shift in DEI messaging and efforts.
So basically, we're changing the name of it, guys, but it's still there. Is that what's going on?
It's going to be there in some capacity, but look, all these corporations are freaking out because of Trump. That's what's going on. They know that the DEI thing is not going to happen anymore, and they're all walking it back. Now,
well, Disney already got sued over this stuff too, because they were putting mandates in that 50% of whatever hiring had to be based on non-white men, and then they were getting sued for discrimination. Yeah,
and they were bragging about it too, because just when it came to green lighting shows, like we knew it was kind of an unspoken rule, but when you had Dana Walden out there saying flat out that they passed on really good sitcom ideas because they were too white. It's like, well, why couldn't you? Okay. So beyond the fact that that's just stupid to look at the racial makeup of the show, and decide whether or not you're going to, greenlight or not greenlight it, whatever, why don't you just greenlight and say, can we change a couple of the characters' races or something to meet that? Cause this is obviously a really good idea for a show, cause you didn't cast anybody yet. Right. So it's like, I don't know. It's just like, that just shows that they're not money minded. The people at Disney are not money-minded. Now they need to be money-minded because they're running out of money. Shareholders are money-minded. They're like, why is your stock still down, Disney? The email comes on the heels of reports that Disney scaled back DEI messaging to investors. As of today, blogmickey.com has confirmed that Reimagine Tomorrow's website redirects to Disney's new inclusion page. So let's see what they're...
What's this new inclusion page? We want everybody to belong and thrive.
Even those, yeah, and we've made sure we put Walt there because there was a rumor that they were going to try to downplay Walt Disney himself because he's problematic.
I would think they try to downplay Walt Disney, not because he's problematic, because Bob Iger wants his face on it.
Yeah, right. Disney builds a fifth gate. They'll have a statue of Iger. Igerland. That's Hollywood Studios, basically. Yeah, so it's not as oh yeah. Then they're making sure veterans are putting veterans front and center.
But they're saying the Disney on the Yard is dedicated to building a community for HBCU alumni working across the Disney company, providing meaningful opportunities for students in partnership. They've strengthened the commitment. Basically, so what, for more interns? Is that what this is about?
Yeah, I think so.
Disney runs on interns.
They run on interns. So what's that have? Inclusion. This is basically it. Just people, culture, research. People, we reach and attract the best, most talented people around the world and foster barrier-free talent processes for everyone. Oh, that's interesting. You're not like, hey, we've got the best, most diverse makeup of people. Yeah. Talent acquisition. So it's not as in your face. I mean, look, all you have to do is say we're equal opportunity employers, right? That's all you got to do. We'll hire the most qualified people. We will pull from various talent pools across the world, across different cultures, whatever, because we want the absolute best people, regardless of skin color, gender, race, et cetera. But they had to make a big damn deal out of it. And it was actually
because Disney doesn't do anything unless they make a big damn deal about it.
Yeah, get rid of the key, right? What happened to their DEI key? The belonging.
Well, they're still
key?
Keeping it, but they're calling it something else. So they said that the email was sent by Coleman outlines the following changes to the DEI program.
Okay.
Beginning this fiscal year, Disney will replace the diversity and inclusion performance factor that used to evaluate executive compensation. Wait.
Wow.
Your compensation was how many people, diverse people you hired. With a new talent strategy. The new strategy factor includes concepts from its old diversity inclusion factor, but it's more focused on how values drive business success. So it's the same damn thing. You're just trying to hide it.
Yeah, they're not gonna get rid of it completely. I mean, this is the thing. But I think that the fact that they are actually acknowledging Reimagine Tomorrow was a problem and they're kind of downplaying it now means they know they done screwed up. They screwed up big time. Because Reimagine Tomorrow, I could effectively argue the uncovering of that is really what led to the Nelson Peltz attempted takeover, because they start tying all the box office misfires and all that stuff to all their DEI crap. And they're like, yeah, well, here's what's going on. They've gone woke. So let's, take them down. Let's see. Yeah, they're getting rid of the Reimagine Tomorrow initiative, the corresponding website, which was used to highlight stories and talent from underrepresented communities. The site was replaced externally in December, but nobody knows until recently, right? By an updated hub on Disney's corporate website, but also on their internal website. Company has rebranded its business employee resource groups, the Bergs, to Belonging Employee Resource Groups.
These are if you identify in this way, you're in this club or that club. Is that what this is about?
Yeah, the transformation, which began last year, is meant to highlight the focus on Bergs and strengthening the employee community and workplace experience. In addition to the outlined changes, Axios is reporting that Disney will remove the autoplay disclaimer before some of Disney's movies that contain outdated depictions of stereotypes. Here's an example. This program includes negative depictions and or mistreatment of people and cultures. These stereotypes are wrong then and are wrong now. Rather than remove the content, we want to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and spark conversation to create a more inclusive future together.
You're not allowed to spark conversation. That just means you're racist if you ask questions.
Now, Blog Mickey goes on to blame Trump.
Of course they do.
Well, it is. I mean, look, it is. It's just the zeitgeist is changing, right? Just like, literally overnight, we went from being a country that was like ashamed of being American and pushing for all this DEI stuff to like, yep, that was last year. This is where disco's dead. Now we're all a bunch of flag waving, beer drinking, patriotic, truck driving.
I'm reading this. And they said they're trying to avoiding backlash from President Trump. This is a significant shift from how the company has operated in recent years, and would likely represent a huge step back in terms of how the company is viewed, not only from the liberal side of America, but many of its own cast members who forced Disney to stand up for the Don't Say Gay. Okay, bullshit. You didn't care when the people that worked at Disney that were on the right, you didn't care if they had to view the company differently. But two, before Trump was elected, they walked back the Don't Say Gay and Inside Out 2. Basically, they themselves put in Don't Say Gay because they had to change it. And then Inside Out 2 doing well was one of the things that helped save the company last year.
Yeah.
So they were already doing this prior. They were already canceling, super far agenda-driven stuff in shows and cartoons and episodes prior to Trump winning. So they were losing money, and they were trying to walk it back. You're blaming Trump, but from their actions, they were already doing this prior to that.
They actually point out in Axios, they said that, they do talk about the Don't Say Gay bill. They talk about the quote unquote Don't Say Gay bill, which wound up costing them Reedy Creek, by the way. So was it worth it? Was it worth it? Because that was a huge black eye for Disney. But yes, since returning in 2022, Bob Iger has made it a priority to lean into the company's original values. They're saying that they want it to be an entertainment company first. Iger did say back then, our primary mission needs to be to entertain, and then through our entertainment to continue to have a positive effect on the world. Very serious about that. It should not be agenda driven. It should be entertainment driven. He said the company's 2023
So they were already shifting prior to Trump getting elected. But Blog Mickey's just ass mad that Trump got elected is what the whole thing is.
Probably. Yeah. The writer probably is. Yeah. So and they have a whole thing, which companies are rolling back DEI. Basically, DEI lasted unofficially, I would say 2016, 2017. It seemed to really explode. But officially, right after, from BLM on, and it lasted like 3 or 4 years. Now it's done. It's done. Like all these companies walked back within a year or two. Basically, what happened was they realized there's no damn money in it. In fact, it's anti-money because you're pushing away your customer base, including the people that you're trying to pander to. It's not just oh my God, the bigots are mad. No, sometimes you pander so hard that even the people that you're trying to pander to can see through the bullshit, and they're like, yeah, this is dumb. I'm not doing this. Not
just that. I guess I've mentioned many times, DEI has actually turned around and had the opposite effect of what it was meant to have. And it's created more division, more bigotry, more harm than good. I have to laugh though, because I think these briefcases are supposed to be indicative of skin tones, and all I can see is like, are these human skin briefcases? Like,
oh God,
what's the point?
Yeah, you turn it around. Wouldn't that be morbid? You like turn around, there's like a face.
I'm just saying, like I get what they were going for, but it's actually more disturbing than anything.
Like Lady Cassandra's on the other side of it or something. Moisturize me. Well, yeah, Disney's getting lubed up here because I think America is giving it to them from behind.
It's a refreshing change because we've been taking it from Mickey for so long.
Yeah, we don't want Mickey's white gloves anywhere near our naughty bits. But anyway, I don't know how the hell we got there because we talked about moisturizer. It's all ending. We've been talking about this, like you could feel it coming 8-9 months ago. And we talked even before that, like I started to see some of the movies and stuff coming out, and I started to look at like what was being canceled. And we talk about like, look at during the strikes, look at the people they're throwing overboard, look at the shows they're canceling, look at, they're taking every opportunity they can to get rid of the quote unquote woke stuff. And Disney was a massive holdout, and they're not going to get rid of it completely.
They're not. They're still going to keep pushing it.
But I don't think it's going to be at the forefront like it was before. In fact, it was probably there all along, or has been there all along for at least, 10, 15, 20 years. You just never saw it because it wasn't something they broadcast as loudly as they had.
They had the virtue signal it louder than everyone.
Yeah.
It's like when they do Pride Month and stuff, things like that. it's so they're making a big deal about it, but it's not because they actually care. It's because they want to make money. They want to cash in.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that because Google's getting all kinds of backlash now over pride and virtue signaling, and it's kind of hilarious to watch. But everything is changing, guys. Like, I mean, it's 2025 could not be any more different from 2024. Mm-hmm. I mean, this feels like the actual start of the decade because we had a little bit of a snag with COVID, you know, for the first couple of years. But this feels like, okay, we're going into 1980s part 2. Disco is dead. Hippies are crusty and dirty and we don't like them. We're going to wave the flag, drink the beer, fire our tanks, make lots of money, play video games. It's going to be fun.
Use moisturizer.
Use moisturizer, you know. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.